Poppy K and her weekly vlogs, shopping, reading and her cute dog. Poppy K and her weekly vlogs. Poppy K, subscribe, like, comment and share. Hey up everyone, hey up. I said I was going to talk about The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie that I read when, well, I finished off the book while I was on holiday because I finished Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, so I took this along just in case. I did finish it and then I finished this one as well. So I'm just going to talk about my feelings about it. I am reading this as part of the catch-up book club. I'll leave the video, I always leave the video below if I'm talking about it, and we are this year, or this time, following the Law series of books. So we've got The Blade Itself, and then there's obviously other books in the series. There's 10 books in all, and we are going to read all of these books throughout the whole year and maybe a bit into 2024 as well. So that's what we're doing there. I'll leave it all linked below. It's Becca and the Books, and I'll leave the video that she popped up. There's a Discord and all sorts of things. So this is the book, and I've also, yesterday, which would have been Friday, the 3rd of February, she launched some bookmarks on her Etsy shop, and I got the bookmark to go with this book, so hopefully I'll get the bookmark to go with the other book. So yeah, I'm going to talk about this now. So we are following 4 main characters throughout this book. The first one is Giselle, is a vain, selfish nobleman, and he's also a fencer, and he's basically training to take part in a great fencing championship. Logan, who is an infamous warrior. Glocta, who is a tortured and crippled torturer. So we start off in the book following Glocta and we get straight on into the torture. If you don't like anything that's too gory, then I probably wouldn't recommend this book, but we're straight in. And Baez, who's a mage and whose motives are mystical. So the book splits between 5 or 6 viewpoints as well, and each sort of gets a chapter dedicated to that point of view. So even though they're the 4 main characters, we do have other characters, other sort of like side characters coming in. I was quite unsure what to expect, but as I started reading it, as I say, in the very first couple of chapters, you sort of like really sort of plunged into this world. There's not a lot of plot, I would say, in this book, but that's, I think, because it's the first book and it's more character driven. We're being introduced to the characters and maybe the world in which we're going to be following these characters throughout the whole of the series. So in some aspects it starts off really well, and then it sort of like plateaus because we're trying to learn a lot more about all of the other characters. But on that aspect, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, so it does keep you intrigued, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the next book. There are bloody battles, I would say, in this book. As I say, it's quite not gruesome, well, yeah, we'll say a little bit gruesome, because there's torture in there and things like that as well. But there are also, on the flip side of the coin, there are also some really laugh out loud moments. The humour in this book is quite good, actually. It made me laugh out loud quite a few times. There's nothing superfluous in this book. As I said, there's no particular plot. It sort of just carries on throughout the story as we're introduced to all of the characters and the sub-characters and things like that, and different points of view and the world building and things like that. So I would say for that reason I only gave it a 4-star, only because it sort of started to get a little bit sloggy, not too sloggy at the end, but I just want to find out what happens. So obviously I did enjoy it because I want to know what happens next. But yeah, that is The Blade Itself. I gave it 4 stars by Joe Abercrombie, and as I said, I will put all the links to all of the bits and pieces down below. As you know, I just got back from York the other day, and I wanted to show you what I picked up when I went to York, because I haven't actually showed you that. I popped into a couple of bookshops and things like that. I went into Waterstones. I did pick up a few books, but I put them back down again. I was like, oh, I don't know. And also I'd already bought some books, so my backpack was getting extremely heavy. So the first books, or the first duology I bought, were The Six of Crows by Lee Bardugo, and I got the Crooked Kingdom as well. They were £3 each. I've been dying to read this series for years. Even when it first came out, I didn't get it. The only thing I'm annoyed about is these things. I hate these things. But anyway, so I am going to read that. I've got Shadow of Bone as well that I've got to read as well. So I've got a few of her books up and running, but £3 each I didn't think was bad, so I picked up those. And I also picked up Sarah J Maas, House of Earth and Blood, for when I'm finished the ACOTAR series. I'm going to read these, so I've just got the other one to get. These were £7. I mean, they're £9.99 usually, so it wasn't really much of a discount, but still a little bit of a discount. So I've got the first one to these. Oh wow, love it. I love it when they do this and they put like maps and stuff in the beginning. Chef's kiss. Then in the place that we were staying, Massam, there is a charity shop in Massam, and it is the Harriet, I think it's the Harriet Hospice, something like that. If you can hear my husband snoring, I do apologise. And I picked up a dress, but I also picked up this shadow box. As you can see, it would have had medals in it, I think. So I picked this up for £4. And what I'm going to do is I want to make my own. I've always wanted a specimen, you know, with the butterflies in and bugs and stuff. I'm going to make my own specimen shadow box. So I'm going to do that. I might actually film me making some of the bugs and things to go in there. So that's a project that I've got up and coming. And that's about it. So I'm going to go now and be going to do something else, I suppose. I'll see you in a bit. Well, I've got some news for you. I have got my first DNF. I was reading... I can't remember what I was reading. That's how memorable the book was. I will show you in a moment. I was reading that book. I did not like it at all. I don't know what it was. I got it as a audiobook from the library, and I thought, oh, that's good. And I actually had it already on my Kindle because I bought it in the either New Year's sale or Boxing Day sale on Kindle. It was only like £2.99. So I thought, oh, I'll read that then because it's available from my library. So I was listening to it. I literally got an hour away from the end, and I just thought, you know what? I just didn't care. I didn't like the writing style or anything like that. To me, it was just a very big mishmash of mess. So we follow the main character. She goes on holiday with her mum, and this guy follows her and basically gets her to do certain tasks. And she ends up going to a institute. She finishes school and goes to college and ends up going to this college. And I thought it was going to be really good, like dark academia, you know, like, yeah, love it. Love me a bit of dark academia. And no, I just didn't like it. It just wasn't for me. So I DNF'd it. So that is my first 1-star and DNF book of the year. Such a shame. But now I am reading Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. So I've got that, and I've actually got the audiobook from my library as well, so I'm listening to that. I've literally just started. I'm 50 pages in, and it's grabbed my attention because it's got dragons in it. So I will let you know how that goes. Hopefully I'll get that finished by the time this vlog finishes, but you never know. So yeah, that's it. Is it? Actually, no, it isn't. You know, when I went to York, I went to the ghost shop, and I want to show you these little guys. I came home and thought I could make those. So I've been making some, and well, yeah, So that's it. That's all I've really got to say at the minute. So I will be back later on with an update. Hello everyone, I do swear I do go elsewhere. I am in different clothes today. I think I'm going to wrap up my vlog for this week now because I haven't finished the Priory of the Orange Tree. In fact, I think I've barely made a dent because it's, what is it, an 800-page book? So this might be one that I go back to because there's other books I want to read in the interim. I'm on page 91 at the moment, so I'm not even 100 pages in yet. So I'm also listening to it on Audible, as well as I've got it on my Kindle. I don't know what else I want to read though. I've been a little bit slumpy, I should say. We're on, what are we on? The 7th of February. I've got a few books that I want to read, so we'll find out next week what I end up reading. I'm enjoying it so far. As I say, there's dragons, which I love, and I don't know, I don't know. I have been very kindly offered the second book. I know they're both sort of standalone books, and I wanted to read this one so then I could go into the second book knowing a little bit about it, but I've heard some people say who have had it already, it reads very much like a textbook. So I don't know whether I might read the two alongside each other. I don't know, but we shall see. So I've got a couple of books that I need to read on NetGalley that I have, like I say, been kindly given to read, and that's it really. I do want to show you something though. I started on YouTube many years ago. If you go back, I mean, I've got nearly over, I think, 600 videos I think on my channel. If you go all the way back to the beginning, you will see that crafting was my first love, and scrapbooking and things like that. And I have just found, well, my husband went on to free prints and I went on and we got some free prints, but I just want to show you what I ended up doing. I mean, I did do a video which I shall link below, but I have been doing some scrapbooking again, which I absolutely loved. I've got loads of scrapbooks downstairs and I've got all the papers and things like that. So this is the one that I did the video of. So I did that one, and then on the other side I've done this one. This is our trip to Vegas. We went to Vegas for our 20th wedding anniversary, and that was in 2019, so just before the pandemic. So I did that one, and then this is another one. We stayed in the Cosmopolitan Hotel, so that's that. And then we went to a hockey game. Love ice hockey. So that's that. And then I've just been getting other pictures of like my son and myself. So there's another one. And I'm sort of still working on this one. And I've also got a cutting machine. I've got a Silhouette Cameo. So hopefully I can sort of cross over the two genres, and I can do my my reading journal as well, and use some of the cutouts and things like that. I must admit I have been very, very bad, and I haven't done any journaling for a while, so I need to get caught up with that. But that's it really. So I'm gonna go now. I hopefully will have a little bit more done of the Priory of the Orange Tree, and yeah, I'll see you next week. Have a great day. Bye.